If you've been following the channel for a while, you may know that I was a scout leader and scoutmaster for about 20 years when my 4 sons were in the Boy Scouts. During that time, I did a lot of camping, a lot of backpacking, and as you know, one of the most important things you can have when you're camping or backpacking is some good coffee. However, one of the least available things very often when you're camping or backpacking is some good clean water to make coffee with. Well, in today's video, we're going to take a look at what I hope is a great way to make some great coffee, even with some not so great water. So stick around, that's what's coming up next here on Survival on Purpose. Welcome back to Survival on Purpose. My name is Brian. Thanks for joining me for today's video. We're going to try to make some good coffee out of some bad water. But first, today's words of wisdom from the Bible. Today's wisdom is from the book of Proverbs, chapter 12, verse 23 in the NLT version. The wise don't make a show of their knowledge, but fools broadcast their foolishness. I've been guilty of doing that a time or two myself. So anyway, good coffee, bad water. So the folks at Grayl, who make the GeoPress water purifier, which we've looked at on the channel before, really a good piece of gear to have, were kind enough to send me some of their new titanium GeoPress gear. We got the GeoPress and a couple of things to go with it. And one of the things is a coffee press. So we're gonna check that thing out and see how well it makes some good coffee with some not so good water. So I think the first thing we should do is go get some of that not so good water. Then we'll take you down to the old stump top and we'll get to started doing some of that coffee stuff. You want to? Okay, we're here at what I'm calling the cooler of doom in my worldwide headquarters, and you can see it's pretty bad in there. The last time I used this, I think you can see the rust on the bottom where I was submersion testing some blades. But obviously it's kind of dirty. There's no telling what kind of pathogens are growing in there. But we scooped this out some water. There's a fill line in here, so I don't want to get over the fill line. And now we're down to the fill line. If you can see it right there, I don't know if you can or not. Can you see that? Anyway, let's take it back now and do the purification, filtration, and coffeecation of it. Actually, this is as good a place as any to do the purification. So the way that works is you have your dirty water in here. Don't fill it beyond the fill line, and I'm pretty sure we're good on the fill line. You were right at it. Then you take, this is the filtration, purification part here. And basically, it just screws on to here. It's got an O-ring in there. It's got a little one-way valve in here. We'll talk about that maybe in a minute, but just quarter turn that. Make sure you open your lid halfway. It's got a little arrow here, so just turn it the other way towards the strap. And then you just put it in here and you press it down. You see on the top here, they've got some little traction places with some rubber there to kind of give you some cushion. You just press it down. And it's pretty fast. It feels slow when you're doing it, but it's just as fast as any other filter I've ever used. You know, it's just that you're filtering a whole lot of water at one time. So we get it pushed all the way down. What you wind up with is it touches. Okay, now the water inside here, and you can even take that off and show you, is filtered because the filter is in the bottom, so it pushes water up through the filter. Let's put that back on. Here's the Grayl with the purified water in it now. This is the GeoPress TI titanium. They sent me a whole bunch of stuff here. If you want to know all the specs and all the details, you can go on their website. They've got all that stuff. I'm not going to bore you with it. I might tell you the high points as we go, but I don't want to spend a whole bunch of time wasting that, because what you came here to see was if you can make good coffee out of dirty water. So let me just gather my gear here. Just to be clear, they sent me this hip pack, which is pretty cool. If you want to look at that, maybe let me know in the comments. We'll look at it in another video. So this is the TI kit. It comes with the GeoPress. It comes with this, the GeoPress, and it comes with a lid. Well, I'll show you in a minute. And they sent me this. They sent, I think, everybody right now this multi-use starter kit. It has some freeze-dried food in it. This is gluten-free vegetarian, so I'm probably not going to eat it. But also has some instant coffee and some hydration pack in here. And we're not going with no instant coffee. We're going to go with the French press. I got some real coffee here in the bag. They sent me a sport. And so other than the GeoPress though, I think the two coolest things they sent me are, one of them is this coffee press. So it's just a French press. I mean, it's just a basic French press. We'll put that together in just a minute. So in this little bag pouch too, they sent me that one. The other really cool thing they sent me is, check this out. This is a backpacking stove. Weighs like, I don't know, 1.5 ounces or 1 ounce. And it costs like, I don't know, 20 bucks or something. And so it goes on one of these canisters. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's what we're gonna use to try to make some coffee. So without further ado, let's get to it. We're gonna have to take this out and use this cup to boil the water in. So I found it easier, since this thing unscrews counterclockwise, to twist this thing clockwise and pull it out. And now as it pulls out, so all the clean water is in here. And then this thing has a one-way valve in it to prevent the water from coming out, which also lets you put drink mix and stuff in there, and you don't have to worry about it leaking back through. But in this case, since we're gonna be boiling the water, I'm not too worried about cross-contamination, but just to be safe, we'll just do a little quick slosh rinse here, just, you know, kind of at least make sure there's no sediment or anything left in there. So that'll be good. And then we'll pour the water in here, up to enough for a good cup of coffee. After the sloshing around, we're at about here on the cup. So it's gonna be a good sized cup of coffee. Now let's put this aside. We won't be needing this for a little while. Next, we'll take get the stove set up, flip out the little arms here, the pot support system, I guess what you want to call it. And there it just clips out like that. Very cool. This screws on right here. Uh-oh, Kuma. I don't think Kuma likes coffee. Ooh, that's cold. Okay, now, we got it on here. Let's try to get it kind of level, because we're not in a very level situation. And next step is going to be to light this thing up. Oh, in addition, when they give you the stove, they give you an extra little O-ring too. They don't give it to you, by the way, they sell it to you, I'm sorry, but you get a little extra O-ring for the seal. Let's see if I can get this off around my hat and my glasses. Okay. And just to light this thing, I thought it'd be fun. I like to use my little stuff. This is the Wazoo Survival Bushcraft necklace. This one's just a striker only. They also have a couple other versions. I like this one. So see if we can get this thing level. Go ahead and turn it on. It's adjustable, so you can turn it up or down once you get it going. You can hear it? Start the light. Let's see. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna take the lid now. It does come with this pour lid, and we're gonna put it on loosely. I don't want to put it in there tight, because it's pretty tight in there. And my initial testing, I found that it's easier to leave it on loose. So now we just put this on. We turn it up high. And we'll just let it boil and see how long it takes. It hopefully won't take long. This is a pretty cranking little stove here. While we're doing that, put together the French press, and it comes with this screen, 2 titanium little rods, and a handle. Screw them together. Screw that in here, like so. Let's see what's going on with the stove. And then we're going to put this through the lid, and the handle will screw on here. But we'll do that after the water gets hot. I'll do that. Let me just tell you the basic specs of this thing. So, and compare it to the original. This is the original Grayl GeoPress. You can see it's plastic. It's a little bit bigger than this, because plastic's thicker than titanium. But the filter system is the same, and I can show you that in the new one while we're doing it. So this is not just a filter. This is a purifier. That's a big difference. Purifiers get out viruses and a bunch of stuff. Filters don't. So it makes your water a lot cleaner, a lot safer. It allows you to confidently drink water that other places you might not be able to. So this is actually good for global. So that's the big distinction. So, and they both have that filter in there. And so let's talk about the big elephant in the room. Everybody's going to want to know about price. So this is the original, and they're $100 with one filter in them. Filter replacements, filter cartridges, or purifier cartridges, whatever you want to call them, are about 35 bucks, 30 bucks. This one, man, this thing is not doing good on the wind. This one is about 220 bucks. But there's a difference. First of all, this is titanium, so it's about the same weight, maybe a couple ounces higher, heavier. But this one has handles on the side of this cup. Ooh, it's hot too. So you can use it as a cup actually and hold it. And the biggest difference is you cannot do this with this one unless you want a melted gooey mess. This one you can put it over a stove, you can put it over a fire, you can cook with it. Comes with a lid, and you can also use a coffee press with it, which is also cool. This thing is about 35 bucks extra though, so now you're looking at $255. But to be fair, that's a purifier, not a filter. So not only is it a purifier, it is a water bottle, it is a cook pot, it is a coffee press for that kind of money. Oh, and look, we got some boiling going on now, so let's just turn it off. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, it's hot. Ooh, it's hot, 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 hot. Ooh. Yeah, it's hot. Okay. And it's boiling now. So I'm gonna see if I can set it off with this thing, let it cool for a minute, because I don't like to make coffee when it's like boiling hot. Okay, yeah, it's hot. We'll let it cool off for a minute. And while that's cooling off, get some coffee out and let me finish what I was saying. So bottom line, just a water purifier, not a filter, but a purifier. The ones that I'm familiar with, MSR is a very popular one. They're gonna run somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 something bucks just for the purifier. And this thing, in my opinion, has some big advantages over that. First of all, it's got multi-functions, right? You can cook in it, you can use it for a water bottle, you can make coffee in it. It's heavy duty. Since this is cooled down a little bit, we're gonna put some coffee in here. I'm gonna put, I like mine I like it to taste like coffee, not just water. So we'll put this much in there, about 2.5 heaping spoonfuls. Stir it up real good, and then put the press in. So now we take the lid, put the rod through here, like so, and put the handle on it, just like a regular old French press, if you're familiar with that. And I use coarse ground coffee, by the way, in the French press. So just put that in just enough to seal, and then let it steep. We're not gonna press it down yet. And we'll probably let that steep for, we'll say 5 minutes while I'm rambling. So anyway, as far as value, I think it's a fair value for a water purifier that has all these features. I know it's not cheap. Water purifiers are not cheap to begin with. This gives you the ability to, and the handle's already cooled off, gives you the ability to have a cup with a handle. It's got this, I didn't point this out, but it's got this little D-ring here. You can tie a piece of paracord or something to it. If you're trying to collect the water off a bridge or steep bank or whatever, you can just dip it down in and pull it back up. Saves you from scrambling down a steep, muddy bank or whatever. Has the pour lid on top of it, which helps it to boil faster and lets you pour it without making a mess. And then you can get the French press also. So I think it's pretty good value in my opinion. So this one, 100 bucks. I think this is the best $100 purifier in the world, in my opinion, from what I've seen anyway. And then this one, maybe 120 more, 130, 150 more, say, with the French press. But you got a purifier, which costs at least 100 bucks, right? Because we got the other one. Plus you got all this other functionality. So I think that's all the rambling, but one more thing I forgot to mention. So you may have already thought about it. So here we've got our cup. We made our coffee in it. We've got our French press. When we press this down, we're gonna have this press with all the coffee in the bottom. Hopefully the grounds are all in the bottom under the screen, but then we're gonna have this knob sticking up. How are we gonna drink it? So when I was doing my initial kind of testing of this thing to make sure everything functioned and all that, I discovered that you can take the handle off, push it down, take the cup off, and you can sort of maybe drink it, but you got this handle sticking up in the way. There's a lot of facial gymnastics and mental gymnastics you got to do. And if you've ever drank camp coffee right after you brewed it, what I didn't want to do was pour that whole thing down my throat and have a 3rd-degree burn on my neck because I was trying to drink it out of a contraption. So you're gonna need a coffee cup. And I know this is not what I would take camping. You would probably take some kind of really cool titanium cup, but this is what I had handy, and this is a Keep Calm and Carry cup from my buddy John Abbott at Hog Holsters, which is a good opportunity to mention that Hog Holsters is the longest running channel sponsor here at Survival on Purpose. And they make the most comfortable concealable holster I've ever used. Every single Hog holster is 100% model specific, no one size fits all, 100% made in the USA down to the very screws by a Marine Corps veteran in Arizona. handcrafted. And this is one of his mugs from when he was actually, before he was making holsters, he was a firearms instructor. And this may be one of the only few in existence in the entire world. So, but if you use the coupon code Survival on Purpose at Hog Holsters website, you'll probably be glad you did. So anyway, now I think it's been 5 minutes. So let's see if we can get us some coffee. You want to? So the next step is going to be to slowly. I say slowly. I like to do it slowly. You don't maybe have to, but I like to give the coffee time. I don't want it to feel stressed. I don't want to stress the coffee out. I want it to stay calm. Just keep pushing this down slowly. And what it's going to do is going to hopefully push all those grounds to the bottom, strain them out, and you'll be left with some really cool, nice, tasty, regular coffee. Let's push that down a little bit so it doesn't leak. Now, here's the test. See what it looks like when you pour it. See if it looks like coffee. Oh, would you look at that? Maybe a little bit light. I maybe should have steeped it a little longer, or maybe put a little more coffee in. But there's no grounds there, and certainly looks like coffee. Let's see if it tastes like coffee. Fingers crossed I don't burn my tongue. Ooh, it's hot. But it does taste like coffee. Maybe this is a little weak. I didn't steep it quite long enough, maybe, but that's nothing to do with the equipment, right? You know what it doesn't taste like? It doesn't taste like dirty, contaminated water. It tastes like coffee, fresh, clean coffee. Okay, well, I guess that's it. If you are looking for a way to make some good coffee out of some not so good water in the field, I think this is a really, really good solution. Again, I like the original GeoPress, but I think even at double the price, this is absolutely a much, much, much more comprehensive solution, especially with the coffee press, because you can't really make coffee with the other one without some other gear. This one, with this little stove and a coffee press, and maybe an extra cup, you can certainly wrangle your way around the extra cup. You can definitely make yourself some good coffee with some bad water. So that's it. Thanks again to the folks at Grayl for sending me this so I could test it out and to make some good coffee. And as always, thank you for watching Survival on Purpose. Remember, survival's not an accident, so be prepared with clean water and good coffee. I'll see you next time.